Hello comrades, the Honey Badger here with another guide. On this one we're going to focus fully on iron. Let's see the topics before going further. What is iron useful for? How to build the iron industry? What to expect if I decide to build the iron industry? Before we go on the first topic, remember to hit that subscribe button, and whilst you are there, might as well hit the like button too and leave a comment down below of what you think about this guide. So, what is iron useful for? Iron is useful solely for steel and nothing more. It's a late game build to be done when you're starting to produce steel. Such a simple description, don't you think? But there's nothing more to mention. Let's start building it. Before building it, if you are playing with research turned on, make sure you firstly research geological faculty and then geological mapping. Or else you're gonna be left out to fend for yourself like a poor ass fat-bellied beach metal detector guy. Secondly, make sure that you are researching waste disposal, waste separation, and waste separation education, or else you're going to swim in a lot of garbage. The iron mine produces as waste mixed waste, construction waste around 20%, and metal scrap around 10%. Thirdly, I want to emphasize what's stated on the iron mine tooltip. The iron mine takes 250 workers, and each worker produces 4 tons of iron per day. This means that having a full capacity iron mine will output you somewhere around 1000 iron per day. Theoretically, this means you can supply 5 iron processing plants at once. Sadly, this is a lie, because the iron mine has only one single aggregates output. This means that the maximum amount of iron that can exit the mine is equal to the maximum amount of tonnage carried by the aggregates belt, that is 600 tons a day. This means that we don't need a 100% quality area to achieve maximum efficiency, but instead only a 60% quality area. However, if you find a higher quality area, by all means go for it. This is because higher quality in this instance means less workers to max out the belt. Now let's get going on building it. First thing is first, let's check the deposits that we have on the map. Earlier in the previous guide for coal, I mentioned that I planted my coal industry over here just because it's in range of an iron resource. However, over here, if we are going to check, it's impossible to place down a iron mine. Even if I play around with the terrain tool, it still won't raise the mountain over here at all. Therefore, we need to check another resource. Over here is the best one that I've found currently and has a high output. So let's place down an iron mine. Make sure that the quality is above 60%. For me, over here it's 70%. Also, let's decide the direction we're gonna build our iron industry. Over here we have a lot of space, whilst over here we don't have that much space, and also I'd like to plant my city somewhere around here. Remember that for iron and coal you're going to need 1500 meters because of the incinerator we're gonna use for garbage. So let's close the map and start planting the iron industry. I see a 71 over here, so I'm gonna hunt it down. Here we go. Next thing that we're going to use is a splitter with a road. There we go. And the same problem that we had at building the coal mine, we will need the iron processing plant to have the output facing the middle, and also we need to make sure that the conveyors are fully working as intended. Therefore, I'll place one over here and make sure that the conveyor belt is built. Perfect, it is built. Just for the example's sake, if you would build it like this, you are noticing that the conveyor belt shows as possibly being built, but once you place down the processing plant, you're going to notice that the conveyor is not built, and even if you try to connect it, it will not allow you to connect it. That's important to check the conveyor belt placements firstly before approving the build. So let's place the middle one. This middle one doesn't matter where the output will be, since it will be in the middle. And the last one, we're gonna switch it so the output faces the middle of the area. Just like this should be fine. And let's see if the conveyor belt is built. Yes, all 3 conveyor belts are built. Now we are going to take another conveyor overpass, this time a merger, and make sure that all the mills are being merged. Be also very careful that the middle one will need a road passing, so make sure that you have enough distance between the conveyors so you can build the road. Perfect. Next thing, let's connect all the roads together. It's important to connect the roads like this so your garbage trucks can run through every single building. And now let's focus on the garbage area. We are going to have a transfer station over here, and make sure that the factory is a one-way connection coming from the iron mine into the big garbage can. Another thing, before placing the garbage locations, let's firstly see how our pathing will look like. And now let's place our garbage containers. I'm going to use the big ones and try to cover all as many plants as I can. Over here, sadly, only one will be covered. And on this side, we might be able to get to 2 of them at once. Let's see, maybe over here it would be slightly better, since we can create a path going to the garbage station, and now we have connected both buildings on this side. That means only this building is remaining. So let's build yet another one over here. Perfect. This one is useless at the moment since we have the other 2, so we might as well delete it. As mentioned at the beginning, the iron industry will produce both construction waste, mixed waste, and metal scrap. So over here, I'm gonna place 6 of them on construction waste, 3 of them on metal scrap, and I'm going to copy the same settings here too. Similarly, for my transfer station, I'm going to place 6 of them as construction waste, 3 of them as metal scrap, and the rest can be remained as mixed waste. The next thing is the incinerator. We're gonna place it in a way where it connects both the transfer station and the iron mine. And also, the factory connections must be one way going into the incinerator. What will happen now is that the mixed waste created by the iron mine will be automatically sent to the incinerator. Similarly, the mixed waste from the big transfer station over here will be sent to the incinerator. The second connection between the iron mine and the transfer station will make sure that the construction waste generated by the iron mine will be directly delivered to the big garbage transfer station. And one more thing, we're going to have a dump with a claw machine over here, just to make sure that the ash generated by the incinerator will have a place to go. I prefer using the one with rail because it's way simpler to just transfer it via rail. Also, make sure that the factory connection again is a one-way going from the incinerator into the claw machine. Good. The next things that I'm going to plant down is the Citizen rail connection. Because the incinerator is needing to be 1.5 kilometers away from the iron processing area, you need to transport them via rail. Flying with buses will not be that efficient. So let's place down a train platform somewhere around here. And also let's not forget to connect the road to the incinerator. Good. As you can see, already the train platform can access all of our facilities. If this wouldn't have been the case, remember, underpasses are your friend. Just build these to shorten the trip and avoid the traffic above ground. Now with the waste done and our passenger station done, we need to focus on the storage. Over here at the storage, I'll just go with the biggest one that we have and make sure that its road connection is pointing away from the middle. In the middle, it's important to keep it clean in order to manage the garbage. So let's place it around here. And two more things are necessary, namely two small aggregate storages that you're going to just connect them like this and build them as close as possible to the other storage. Now let's connect everything with roads. The last thing that we're going to need is a large train aggregate loading. Go directly for the 6th one. There's absolutely no reason for you to go with a smaller one. Also, make sure that you can reach all 3 storages from a single place. If it's not possible, that is perfectly fine. You can build one manually later. That connects to this storage. And also for safety reasons, namely fire safety reasons, we're also going to connect the train station here. The last things that we're gonna need to do is to set the storages. Let's make sure that this one only stores iron, this one only stores metal scrap, and this one only stores construction waste. Now, because we're dealing with both metal scrap and construction waste, we are going to need a distribution office to handle the load. A small distribution office is perfectly fine to be placed. And over here, we're going to directly buy 5 waste trucks to handle the construction waste and the metal waste. We're going to assign it to pick up everything from the big garbage container and unload everything to the 2 storages. Because we managed on the 2 storages to mention what is being stored, we don't need to do anything over here. Also, we can increase here the destination buildings to 100% to make sure that the trucks will always try to fill it up. And the source buildings, we're gonna place it at 10%. There's absolutely no reason to pick up a half full big container from here. One final thing in regards to garbage, you're also going to need a technical services office. A 8 technical services office should be perfectly fine for this area. In here, we are going to get 2 snow plows to make sure that during winter, we will not have any problems with the snow. And also, we are going to get 6 waste trucks to handle the loading of garbage. One final thing to mention, make sure that on your claw machine dump, you are selecting the mixed waste. Or accidentally, you're going to end up either with construction waste or metal scrap from the incinerator, because the big transfer station might be full to the brim with these materials. Of course, the buildings will need workers, power, and drinking water. Those things I'll leave it to you because you know how to build them already. And that should be all about constructing this area. Let's discuss what to expect if you decide to build the iron industry. Well, you're going to need in total 930 workers in order to handle the entire production. Moreover, you're going to need some dumpers and a technical office in order to handle all the storages. Also, you're going to need mandatory at least a small distribution office in order to carry all the construction and metal scrap to the train storage. Iron, being an aggregate resource, sadly will take a very long time to export at the customs house, and it will block it just like coal does. The pollution is quite big. Namely, you're going to need a minimum of 1.5 kilometers between your coal production and your city. Trying to get a bus station to do your bidding here is not recommended at all, as you're going to go through 1000 plus people per day. Best if you are using passenger trains. There are some special trains apart from the iron trains you must have. Namely, you need a garbage train that transports the ash to the border, and a separate construction waste train and a separate metal scrap train that does the same thing or transports them to their respective recycling plants. Moreover, the iron mine can successfully produce 315 iron per day, which is enough to power 1.5 steel mills. In terms of profits, iron as an industry, it's kinda meh in profits, being 2 times more profitable than gravel and 3 times less profitable than coal, netting you just shy of 50k rubles per month. Based on this, I highly recommend not to export iron at all and solely save it for your steel industry. And that's all about the iron industry. Subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for the next guides where we dive into more industries, and most likely it will be steel industry. Also, like the video, leave a comment down below if you're exporting or importing iron in your republic. This will help the video reach more people like yourself. Until next time, I'm the Honey Badger and I'm out.